Yes.
I had to hurry and go in and retouch up my lips. And so I am not looking like my lips are not sweated at all. But
you look beautiful.
It will work. Well, thank you. You do too.
I had an eye tutorial for my other business right before here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have all this makeup on. But yeah, so what did you want to jump into first? Did you want to talk about the abortion bill, or did you get my subject on my concerns on why no one with private jets or PJs with all this extra money, why aren't they in the Bahamas yet helping? That really angers me. It really angers me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw it out there. Kardashian can spend $2 million on their kid's birthday party, but we've got these people crying in the Bahamas with no water. And so my husband and we have a friend who works in insurance, so he goes down there and will help with the insurance companies to kind of rebuild condos. Anybody who had insurance, you know what I mean? So we were able to send water and stuff down with him. But that means we budget. That means we budget for the next week. So why are we doing that on people that don't have to? Why is it always the ones? I feel like, now there are some. I'm not saying not everybody. I'm not saying that. Please no, I'm not. Because I know John Travolta took his private jet to Puerto Rico or something. I've seen plenty do some great stuff. But I think that individually, I wish they would do more versus these celebrity fundraisers, because there's a motive behind that too. Why can't you just silently go down there and do something? You know what I mean? Like what, or add it to your reality show, make it a show, whatever. I mean, just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's upsetting because.
I get it. And actually, I totally, completely get where you're coming from. But I'll just say this, and I'll add this in there. You know, if it's not on people's agenda, it just isn't. It doesn't mean I don't think that it means that they don't care. I don't think that it means that, they don't want that for the people of the Bahamas, the people of Haiti, or the people of, any other country that, a catastrophe has happened in. But, people spend their money. They make their money. They spend on what they choose to make it on. And if it's not the children or helping the children at St. Jude's or, going around and that and helping the people that are freezing in the cold or dying in the heat, if that means they don't care, it just means that it's their money and they have the right to spend it wherever they want. And I respect that. There's gonna come a time where no, Yanni, there's gonna come a time when we feel like, when people feel like on our show that we shouldn't be talking about certain things, talking about certain things. And we're gonna say, hey, we reserve the right to talk about what we want to talk about. And so, I think that everybody has a choice, and in that choice, they make choices.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they don't care about another situation, because what happens in the Bahamas was incredible. It was incredible.
It's the worst one in many years.
Yeah, the recovery efforts and a bunch of stuff that's going on over in Puerto Rico that still hasn't yet to, get itself together with the last, is just as concerning. But, so I understand, but I don't think that it's really, I think that people just have their own agendas, and, and I'm always open to that.
Yeah.
Well, let me share one more of my grievances, and I don't know if I'll get in trouble for I really can't get in trouble because it's my mouth, it's your mouth,
All right.
say whatever the hell we want. Who's going to give us a spanking? Like,
right.
I mean, we can be represented in ways that, we may not like, but, obviously, I'm a healthcare professional, I'm a nurse, and, hell, you're a nurse too. We both just are not registered in the state of Georgia.
Skincare, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I teach nursing, and so I had a really bad week, this past week, because I had And I think that a lot of times when you're in healthcare, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about, well, our topic,
the heartbeat.
It's just a matter of opinion, but in this particular situation, Evan, yes, I'm really like truly doing a radio show right now. So we're talking about kids. So this is the whole
I know.
But, so this individual wanted to argue with me about something that I was teaching, which was a different information that another teacher had given. And I don't mind the debate about a particular subject. Like, for example, if a level of something, if you say your glucose level normal is between 55 and 120 or 115, and then you go to another nurse and say, no, you know what, Brooklin, you're pregnant, and the normal glucose level, honey, is 60, yours is 58, 57, 54, and you need to get to the doctor. That's not good, because that's not a normal level. But somebody else's book might say 60 to 120, which is what I've seen before in the past. And, I don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with disrespect. And so the disrespect, there's always a way to deliver a particular topic or say a certain thing without being disrespectful. And so I posted here not long ago, one of the political candidates that's running for president, and I'm not going to say her name only because I don't know her name. If I knew her name, I would say it. But obviously, you get talking to a bunch of different candidates that are running for president or running for whatever type of office that they're running for. Oh my God, my battery's dying. And they want to talk about the things that to the American people and to people internationally, people around the world, domestically or whatever, are concerned about in this big world that we live in. And so she was asked one of the big topics, which is, how do you feel about abortion?
Right.
And her position was, I feel that a woman should have the right to do what it is that she wants to do with her body, and the government needs to stay out of it. She says, that is what I feel. And so she's saying that, everybody was like, oh, applauding and, so happy about, oh my God, yeah, women finally, we need to be able to do and say what we want and da-da-da-da and all this kind of stuff. And, my position is that I've always agreed with that. However, what my position is, I just feel, I don't like abortion. I really don't. I think that it is a way, but anyway, the same answer was, a woman should have the right to do what she wants with her body. Well, our body is our body. And by the grace of God, we are the carriers of unborn children. We have an intimate relationship with our significant other or spouse or boyfriend or whomever. And then this incredible conception happens. And the birth of a baby is in the making. It's here. It's here. It's alive at conception. We all started there. An egg, and then a sperm fertilizes us, and then boom, we are who we are today. And if our parents said the same thing about us, then we would not exist. We weren't a clunk of meat. We were not a thing. We were alive at conception, and today proves that we were alive. So who gives anybody the right to destroy that? I saw a movie not long ago, and I don't remember what movie it was, but it was the ideology of it was that there was only a few people left in the world that really could conceive. And it was one, I think it was only one woman that was really looking for her, whatever. So anyway, she eventually went into like this, I think it was Superman. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was this place that I can just remember this place on TV where they were was so many different unborn babies, and they were like inside of this big thing that it wasn't natural birth. It was like some type of equipment that was designed to hold a fetus and nurture it throughout the pregnancy so that the person could be born. And so we as women have this incredible feature to be able to give birth, and so it can't happen on its own unless those stories were true, which I do believe that there are ways that technology has developed where if a baby cannot grow into the mother, they've created ways where the baby can grow outside of the mom and still have a happy life. And I know this to be true. And so my position is that we don't have the right to destroy that. We do have the right, or we should have the right to be able to do what it is that we want to do with our body. But a baby's body is not your body. And my position is that if you don't want to carry a child, then don't get pregnant. And if you're not going to get pregnant, that means you don't need to have sex. And you say, well, everybody needs sex. I mean, if you start having sex, yeah, you do want to have sex. But if you can't afford the bitch, and you know that you're gonna get pregnant, if you can't afford that thing,
well,
then you need to keep away from it.
Well, there's other circumstances. I mean, obviously, if you're raped by some random person, that's a tough one. I had one when I was young, and I still regret it, and I still have moments that I wish I knew who the baby was. But I also know that I wasn't able to I wouldn't have the life I have now. I don't even know where I'd be. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, as a Christian, I know that God makes a way, and it would have just been a different life. But I think my main stance on it is that women should have a choice because there are circumstances. I just keep hearing the word rape, and because it happened to me in my past, that's not how I got pregnant by any means. But if that had happened, through rape, being that it was incestual in my life, God knows I would have wanted a choice. You know what I mean? Because that in that situation, I think that's really unfair if you're not given a choice. Because that's something that you.
Very hard situation. It is, but let's just say that for whatever reason, because it happened to me a couple of times, unwanted advances that led to my body being touched in ways that I never gave approval for. Never. Let's say that those ways caused me to become pregnant. Let's say that way caused me to become pregnant. For whatever reason, technology allowed us to be able to spit that instead of abort it, you can spit it out. You put it in a test tube and it says life, so we can't do anything about it. And then you give birth to James, I give birth to Yanni, we give birth to our children, and we line all of those beautiful babies up. You would not be able to tell the difference from one from another one. They are all babies.
I understand, but yeah.
Thing about it, and I know the choice aspect of it is definitely very, very important. But I think that what has hurt our choice is that you do have so many abortions. Probably 80 to 90% of those abortions are irresponsible women that have laid down and that just don't want
Some use it for birth control, for sure. Some use it for birth control, and that's terrible. Yeah. I agree. That's terrible.
Did you see what was on the news last night? This 22-year-old black girl, I think it was on Fox last night, where there was a woman that called 911 somewhere here in Atlanta, and she was in a panic because she said it was a really little baby on her porch.
I was going to say, she could have made plans prior. I mean,
her mind, I don't want to take my baby to somebody that I want to take my baby to somebody that I know can take care of it, that's a good home, then maybe she should have went to the door and knocked on the door and said, hey.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Instead of the way that she did, when they charged the child, they charged this little young girl with first-degree child cruelty. Now, if you remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but several years ago here in Atlanta, there was another situation like that happened where a homeless woman, she and her boyfriend, and I guess two other children were living in a building that was abandoned, and it was really cold outside. They couldn't afford their place. They got kicked out, and she was living in the building. And they didn't have any money, and they were going to homeless shelters to eat and different things like that with their kids. And her child died.
Oh
my God. But her child died, and she spent a long time in jail. And then when the case came back up, the judge dropped it. He said, I'm not going to send her to prison because she couldn't take care of her child and because it was cold outside. So that case was dropped. And she had gone through enough, losing her children to defects and then her child dying because she couldn't take care of her and she was living in a building that was cold. So I felt, about this situation, with my personal situation, my son's a girlfriend, tried to beat my granddaughter almost.
I know, I saw.
So the physical abuse, with that, and about that story. But with this girl, she left her in loving hands. She didn't hurt her. It was none of that. It's like my son, he would have never hurt Yanni. So this is the reason why the choice for abortion has been kind of abolished already, because so many people have taken advantage of that word, the choice. They're using it like, oh, I can fuck and get pregnant, and if I don't, well, I'm an it. It's not an it. It's a baby. Period.
I tell you what I don't agree with. I do not agree with these late abortions. Those really upset me. I mean, when I was very young, when I made that choice and I was by myself, and there was a woman in there, and I asked a nurse, I was like, why is she showing? Like, I asked, I'd seen my sister pregnant. I knew what pregnancy was. I wasn't a complete idiot. And she said, oh, we do up to 20 weeks here. And I remember going, what? Like, that didn't make sense to me, because you can almost, a baby can survive at 25 weeks now. So, I mean, like, that, even back then, this is years ago. And I'll be honest, I already had a child at the time. So I knew I couldn't have another child. I was a teenage mom. And I just was with the wrong person, and, whatever. It was something that I was very early. I think it was 6 weeks. It was the earliest you could have one. I spent many years regretting it. And until I found the Lord and realized he still loved me and forgave me, I did condemn myself and really felt horrible and became pro-life because of my own guilt. But I can tell you, when you hear these stories, and, that I went to a trauma center for my sexual abuse as a child, and a few of the women there had been raped. And one woman had been raped and kept her child, and another woman, but she was older, so they don't think they had abortion in the 70s, or it was harder to do or something, or it might have been late 60s. She was quite a bit older. Anyway, she ended up having her stepfather's child, and she ended up getting married years later and having 3 other children with a loving husband. And she hardly has a relationship with that child because she had such resentment. And just, it was a total stranger that raped her. So someone she didn't know. It was aggressive. It was, a weapon was used. It was very bad. And she was like in Costa Rica. It was like some crazy thing that happened. Although that still happens down there. These women getting raped in those places. Yeah. So this was like in the late 60s, early 70s. So anyway, she was at this trauma center just crying and saying she could never fully love that child because it just brought back all those horrible memories. Had they have had help back then, counseling or something, whether she chose to have the baby or not, but she didn't have a choice at all, whether to keep the baby and get counseling and get help to learn how to realize it's still her seed as well, or to get counseling to make a decision to give the baby back to God, as I see it. And that's how I have to heal. I have to see it that way to heal, because I do have guilt still. I still, and that's the thing. Some don't have guilt. Some just do it and get rid of it and it's done. For me, it was a guilt thing, but at the same time, the choice is where, and I know what you're saying. Like, oh, well, they're using it just to have a choice. I get your side. I see your side. At first, I was like, no, everybody should have a choice. We need a choice. This is what America's about, having a choice. God gives us free will, you know. But I see what you're saying, that they can go lay down with whoever because they have a choice. And that's true. But for someone who has, but my point was the other girl.
Blog Talk Radio.
Oh.
Goodbye.
And our radio show is over. But I'm going to say bye to YouTube real quick. YouTube, if you guys want to know more about what we talked about and finish this conversation, you can go to my Facebook, Tamara Brooklyn. Brooklyn, just said my name backwards. Brooklyn Tamara Baldler on my Facebook, and I'll go live there. We try to go to different platforms, not to make it too long. But again, if you have anything to talk about, leave comments below. Even if you don't agree with what you're saying, we want to hear from you. So real quick, this is my co-host, Rhonda. And you can go to our Instagram, endless, I just forgot. Endless voice. Why did I just forget our freaking Instagram? Where's my brain? Endless voices or endless, you can go to either one. Endless raw voices. Thank you. Lord have mercy. I'm so sorry. It has been a long week. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you guys are over here on YouTube, and this is Let's Talk Raw, you guys can subscribe. It's kind of a mix match of a channel. But anyway, I have a birth story coming up in the next 3 weeks. So stay tuned. Bye. But yeah, so the other girl who